morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a little bit of a look at a brand new Machamp card. Now this is weird, right? This is coming along in the Stow On Side Special Pin Collection. And we've seen, well, in this pin collection, there are 6 normal, 2 special. There are 8 in total, 8 badges, 8 promos. All the others are alternate art promos, except for this Machamp. This Machamp, who is B's partner Pokemon, and I've made it quite clear that B is the best gym leader in Sword and Shield. Come at me in the comments. Her partner is Machamp. And we got ourselves this Machamp promo. And maybe by the time this set comes out, we will have had this Machamp. But as it stands at the moment, this is a brand new exclusive Machamp we've seen nowhere before. And I like it. I like it a lot more than the Hatterene V I showed you yesterday, which is getting its own collection box as a brand new, never before seen Pokemon V. So let's have a look, shall we? Starting off, 170 HP is very high even for a stage 2, so that's really good. Retreat cost of 3 is in that awkward place where you don't get free retreat with Air Balloon. It will lower it to 1, but it doesn't give you free retreat. And you can't use buff padding to get yourself extra HP. The weakness to Psychic is honestly fine. Like, Mewtwo and Mew is still running around, and that's not ideal. But Psychic decks are not huge at the moment, so you're probably going to be alright in terms of weakness. I think you'll be okay. But being a fighting Pokemon is great right now. It means weakness on Pikachu and Zekrom. It means weakness on Vikavolt. It means weakness on Eternatus V Max. It means you can use Martial Arts Dojo to do an extra 10 damage, 40 if you're behind on prizes. It means you can use Karate Belt to reduce your attack cost by 1 if you're behind on prizes. And frankly, ladies and gentlemen, things are starting to look very, very nice indeed. You are losing Diancie Prism Star to the rotation, but it's looking good for being a fighting Pokemon moving forward. But what does this particular fighting Pokemon do? Well, my favourite attack here is the first one. 1 fighting, 1 colourless energy. This attack does 20 damage for each fighting Pokemon in your discard pile. Also, love it when we get cards that are just leaked in English. I love David Hockman, I love Antoine Boulet, I love Joe from Cerebi.net. I love all the lovely people that provide translations for us. But it is nice when we just see a new card and we don't need a translation. It does make my job a bit easier. And this is initially very reminiscent of the Zoroark from Team Up. The Zoroark from Team Up does 20 damage for each Pokemon in your discard pile, fighting or otherwise, but you cannot do more than 200 damage in this way. And it's for a Darkness double colourless. So Zoroark might be a stage 1 rather than a stage 2, but it's a much more awkward attack cost, and it is capped at 200, and you're not hitting that amazing a weakness, whereas Machamp is a much easier to pay attack cost, is not capped in terms of damage, and is hitting, without exaggeration, the best weakness to be hitting in the game right now. That is a little bit awesome. Now, in terms of the attack cost, I mean, if you're behind on prizes, Karate Belt will turn this into a single colourless energy. Like, if you get a Pokemon KO'd, then play Rosa, and you can grab Karate Belt or Rare Candy. It is a stage 2, that is the only thing I don't like about this card. And then you can grab yourself the energy and the Machamp, and you're just off and rolling. If you've got Karate Belt or Rare Candy in hand, your opponent takes a KO, and then you're just hitting for a huge amount of damage. Or you could use Tapu Koko to accelerate a little bit of lightning energy, turn it into a single energy attack, or you could use Turbo Patch when you're still a Machop or whatever. There are ways. If you just want to accelerate 1 extra energy, it's not the most difficult thing in the world when it's a colourless energy. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can start playing around with, like Metal Saucer and Energy Switch, though even for me, that's a little bit awkward. So I'm not worried about the attack cost at all here. In terms of the numbers, it's working absolutely beautifully. If you get 6 Pokemon in the discard, you're hitting 120, double with weakness is 240, down goes Vikavolt, down goes Pikachu and Zekrom. With 5 in the discard, you're only hitting 200, which will be short of Vikavolt, though Martial Arts Dojo will make up the difference. With 4 in the discard, you will get a Crobat V, mind you, so it certainly ain't too bad. This is really nice. Now, if you want to get up to an Eternatus V Max, you're going to need 9 Pokemon in the discard. 8 Pokemon in the discard is 160, double with weakness is 320. Now, if you've got 8 Pokemon in the discard, and you've got a Martial Arts Dojo, even if you're not behind on prizes, that will get an Eternatus. Otherwise, it's 9, but that's to take 3 prizes. And I know that Machamp is a Stage 2 Pokemon, but I also know that using stuff like Rosa, Stage 2s are more reliable than they used to be. But also, this doesn't have to be a Machamp deck. This can be a Colossal deck, and you just play a 1-1-1 Machamp line. And maybe your opponent takes out that single prizer and doesn't get any closer to winning the game. No one really cares. Or maybe you never get set up. But then maybe at some point you actually get Machamp working and you've got a really good single prize attacker. And then, of course, we got all the ways to get the Pokemon in the discard pile. I mean, we're all playing Quick Ball at the moment. That discards a Pokemon. If people are still playing GXs, you can play Great Catcher to discard 2 cards from your hand and then gust up a GX. We've obviously got Professor's Research now that discards your hand and draws 3 cards. And honestly, if you really just want discard, I still love the Duskull from Cosmic Eclipse. You discard 3 cards from your hand and then search for a Pokemon that evolves from it to evolve it. But honestly, you don't need to do that. You can just play Duskull on your bench and every turn discard 3 cards from your hand to just continually get those Pokemon in the discard pile. So the numbers work out pretty nicely. It's not hard to pay the attack cost, and it's not hard to get the Pokemon in the discard pile. The only real issue here is the fact that it's a Stage 2. And it is a Stage 2, and no one's arguing it's not. Everyone knows that it's a Stage 2. And I'm going to probably get some lazy comments from people that haven't watched the video going, it's a Stage 2. Yes, it's a Stage 2. But the fact of the matter is, this can be teched into any fighting deck, and you've got an easy attack cost to pay single prize Pokemon. And you can focus on it as its own deck, or you can play it as a 1-1-1-2-2-2 line, rock on with your regular Pokemon in the active, maybe it's Colossal, maybe it's Excadrill, although with Excadrill you are discarding from the top of your deck, so you're going to end up discarding some parts of the Machamp line, but then again, if you're playing enough cards like Ordinary Rod, you should be able to recover from that. And then at some point during the game, you'll have Machamp rolling, and it will be beautiful. Oh yeah, and the second attack, you add an energy and do 200. Like, if you're already doing the first attack, then you add a third energy and you do 200 damage. Now, you do 50 to yourself, but you're only a single prize Pokemon. You still sit there on 120. It's not ideal, but free energy 200 on a single prize Pokemon is great. Like, that's the same attack we see on a Tapu Koko V, for instance, and it's only 10 damage short of Phalanx V, and it's on a single prize Pokemon. So, yeah, I will take the 50 damage to myself. I can live with that. And 200 damage gets an easy KO on anything that's weak. And you'll even be getting up. I mean, there's stuff like Zacian you won't be getting a KO on, but with a Vitality Band, do remember you cannot play that and Karate Belt at the same time, and a Martial Arts Dojo, then you're hitting 220 and there's a KO on Zacian. So actually, you're going to get the vast majority of Pokemon V. If you're behind on prizes with a Martial Arts Dojo out, you will in fact get every single Pokemon V. Okay, you won't get Steelix or Wailord, but come on, they're special. And Steelix, if you're behind on prizes, you can add a Vitality Band, and you will actually still get the KO, though I don't expect many people are going to be playing Steelix V, though I would love to be wrong on that. I love Steelix V. So the point is, we've got a first attack here that is easy to pay, can get up to near infinite damage, and let's not forget, if you're hitting for weakness, you really don't need that many Pokemon in the discard. You then move on and have a look at the second attack, and you're getting so many key KOs, and it's only one more energy. And what we essentially end up with here is just a really nice, efficient, single prize attacker, and one that I'm kind of in love with. I don't know if it's going to end up proving to be consistent enough to be its own deck, but I do feel fairly confident that it will end up being a very, very good tech, even as a stage 2. I can see it happening, ladies and gentlemen. I can see it happening. But I'd like to know what you think. So let me know in the comment. Oh wait, no, we haven't given it a Wassy score. I'm giving it 4 Wassies. I think this is a really good tech. I can see this being played as a 1-1-1 or 2-2-2 line, or maybe with Rare Candy, in a bunch of fighting decks, and being the single prize Pokemon that you need to swing the game in your favour. I'm loving it, but I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts, be nice, and then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.